What is the one thing you miss most about being a college athlete?
Definitely camaraderie. You know, being an athlete, it's a very unique experience because stepping onto a college campus, you have, for me playing football, I had 99 other best friends who
Yeah,
already had something in common with me, whether we were up at 5 a.m. for workouts, practice, meetings, or, going from class to class, like you always had a friend there and someone who you knew was going through basically the same stuff that you were going through. So I would say the camaraderie is the number one thing that I miss the most about just being an athlete.
I love that. Yeah. So you kind of spoke about it, but remind us, what sport did you play and what do you do now?
I played football and now I run my own content agency where I help well, not really small, but I help D2C founders create content and their content strategy to help deliver their business at the end of the day.
Amazing. That's amazing starting your own business. So kudos to you for sure. What uh so what's one skill that you feel like you learned as a student athlete that you still use today?
I would say discipline, 100%. Whether you work in a big corporation, whether you're working on as an entrepreneur or in your own thing, you need discipline to be able to hold yourself accountable and also be able to get the things done that you say that you're going to get it done, that you're going to get done. So I would say discipline was the number one thing that I learned through athletics, whether I liked it or not. And now I have no choice but to be disciplined, especially as an entrepreneur, but even in big corporations, you have to have that discipline in order to honestly be credible in anything that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And last but not least, if you were in front of student athletes today, what's one piece of advice that you would give them, especially as they look to transition into that life after sports chapter of their life?
Find a hobby and not just your sport. You
Yeah,
know, like I mentioned earlier, you walk onto campus, you have 10 best friends, 99 for me playing football, regardless of the sport you play, you have people that you already have things in common with. And I think a lot of student athletes struggle once the ball goes flat with what it is that they do like. And half of us don't really know, do I like to hike? Do I like to snowboard? Do I like to surf? Do I like to swim? Like, what are those things that I like to do outside of the sport that I've played my entire life? And finding that is going to also help you find a community.
for sure.
Um, I
Yep.
moved across the country and didn't know anybody where I moved. So it was really tough for me to find a community. But by having a hobby and finding a hobby of things that I did actually enjoy, one, it made it more enjoyable because I found people that did stuff that I also liked
Yeah.
besides just the sports I played. And
Yes.
also I was able to find people.